Hey everybody, welcome to another episode, a really quick episode of the First World Manila podcast. I just have some updates and announcements to make. First and foremost, I apologize for not putting out any new podcasts for the past few weeks. The biggest reason why I've been AWOL, MIA. Anyways, the biggest reason why I've been absent is because we've sort of had a major family medical emergency that I've had to, me and my brothers and the rest of my family have had to deal with. So I was pretty much out of commission for 2 weeks. So that's one reason I apologize for that and not being able to put out content. But even before that emergency happened, I had already been thinking about doing some major changes to this podcast. Not because there aren't followers. I mean, I do have a dedicated fan base for the podcast, but um, yeah, it's actually sort of a good problem because a lot of things are taking off with First with Manila. I'm working on some talks and another art exhibit, so that's coming up. Um, and I'm also working on launching a merchandise line for First with Manila. So things are actually looking up for this brand. But on the other hand, there are just sort of too many things on my plate since I'm pretty much running everything. Um, so I've had to make some decisions as to what to prioritize. I should also mention that also relaunched. I actually have a web comic that teaches that talks about or makes relevant to a broader audience issues in business economics and finance for an international audience. So this is a web comic, and I'm relaunching that as well. So again, I'm just busy with so many things that something had to give. So what I decided to do with the podcast is this podcast, the First with Manila podcast, is to uh, not really focus and not make any more original content for the podcast. Instead, just blasting out audio versions of the videos I put out for First with Manila. So the reason is because I just don't have enough time to really continue this podcast at this level. At least not right now. Maybe in the future if I have I don't know, more funds or more capital, but we'll see. But for the moment, I'm just going to be putting out audio versions of the videos and putting out on Facebook, which have been very successful, by the way. So in terms of user engagement and reaching more people and getting more followers, so that's what I'm going to do for this podcast. And these aren't just like like the short videos I put out on Facebook, but also like, for example, video versions of talks I would give, for example. So things like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing with this podcast going forward. And this is because it's a good problem because I'm taking off in so many ways that I have to prioritize and really focus my energies on where the business is growing. So that's that. So if any of you have followed me on Facebook, you'll know that I put out short videos like things like what the Philippines can learn from Japan, how to fix the Philippines, uh, using Ube to market the Philippines, things like that. Things that are like sort of offbeat topics that I like to, make into videos and put my art in. Um, so I think those are going to be going through some changes as well. I'm going to keep them to a minute, just to make things more manageable for me. But still have the same high quality um, that goes into creating these videos. And of course, I'll be putting up videos of talks I give. So you're not gonna see any less content from me. So don't worry about that. Um, let's see. My last point is, um, yeah. I think the best way to really keep in touch with me, or sorry, to see what's going on with First of Manila, is to follow me on the First of Manila Facebook page, and I'll leave a link for that in the description as usual. I also have an Instagram page where I put out images, but the main sort of venue where you'll get to see all the updates for First of Manila, like for example, what events I'll be having, or art exhibits, or merchandise launch events. That's all gonna be on the Facebook page. So I highly, highly recommend you follow me on Facebook. So again, the link will be in the description. And that's it for this very, very short podcast update. And I'll see you. I'll see you around. Mabuhay, Viva Filipinas.